All right, guys, sound check. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, perfect. Okay, give me 1 second. How's the stream? Everything look good? Charts look good? All right, so here we go. Let's start out with this. So everybody's knowing that Bitcoin is going straight up, blah blah blah, parabolic, but it didn't always work out that way, right? Because everybody's wanting to see like retracements and yada yada. Well, here we go, right? So here you go. Here's your retracement, okay? You get this big candle right here, right? Where the cursor is, if everybody can see it. And then we get the dip down, we get the nice little bounce back because everybody's thinking, okay, well, this is a buy opportunity, right? I'm going to buy this. And then they get down and they get rejected. Okay? So here's my thinking on this thing is that I think we're going down to here. Right? I think and look at the EMAs. I could be totally wrong, and we'll see what happens over here because we had this low, right? You get this low, and it bounced off what? The lower Bollinger Band. And if guys, I'm telling you right now, if you don't have Bollinger Bands on your charts, you need to get them quickly. Okay? I've been preaching about this for like forever. But when price gets outside of Bollinger Bands like this, sure, you can get a run, right? You get a run up to here, but what happens? It runs out of steam and it comes back inside. Okay? And that's what you have to watch out for with Bollinger Bands, right? So my thinking with Bitcoin was this, is that we do something like over here. We come up, we make a high, get outside the Bollinger Band and come inside and go sideways, right? And then lower Bollinger Band provides support. It's support. That's what Bollinger Bands are. So if you don't know Bollinger Bands or you're not familiar with them, that's what they are. Upper Bollinger Band is resistance, okay, and lower Bollinger Band is support. So when these things start spreading out, they can't, if they go parabolic like this, they can't sustain themselves, right? So anytime, and I mean, me personally, I would have been selling Bitcoin right back here. Just like right here. It gets outside the Bollinger Band and I'm like, okay, well, I'm getting out. It's outside the Bollinger Band. It's been outside and I pointed this out. It was like 3 days outside. Or, well, this is a... Here, I'll switch it over to daily chart. Hang on. That's 4 hour. Here's a daily chart, right? And so I pointed this out and I was like, okay, this thing got outside the Bollinger Bands for 1, 2, 3, and then made the final pop right there. It has to come inside at some point. Okay? So don't sit there and think that this thing is going to go all the way to the moon or 15,000 or whatever it is. I mean, you may get a little pop like we did here, but it's eventually going to just crash itself and come back inside the Bollinger Bands. And here's the upper Bollinger Band right now. And where's it sitting at? It's sitting at roughly the, 78.6 retracement? So that's what you have to watch out for, guys. I mean, don't fall in love with this stuff. I mean, everybody's talking about, oh, it's going to 20,000 next week. It may go to 20,000 next week. I'm just pointing out that it has to come back inside the Bollinger Bands before it does any kind of move like that. Does that make sense? And this is a teaching lesson. Okay, so look here, let's go back. Let's look at this. Here you go. I'm going to scroll out. Here's your Bollinger Bands. Okay? Look at this. When it goes up, it tightens up, it goes outside the Bollinger Band, comes back inside, goes up, goes outside, comes back inside, rides it up a little bit, but what happens? It goes back inside. So, Andrew, if you're having problems here, I'm going to show you real quick how to add Bollinger Bands to your chart if you don't have it, right? Okay? So go over, if you have Trading View, go over to Indicators, click on that, and just type in Bollinger Bands. Okay? Put them on your chart. Put Bollinger Bands on your chart. The Bollinger Bands represent resistance and support over, like, it's a moving average kind of thing is what it is, right? So these things tend to, like, right here, back here it was a support, and then it comes up here, breaks outside, gets outside the Bollinger Bands, and then breaks back inside. They don't stay outside the Bollinger Bands for very long. That's my point. Okay? So everybody back in here, we got the nice move. And now don't get me wrong, it can ride the moving average up, right? But when it starts to get outside of that, that is when I start to get really, really concerned. Because you're going to get a big pullback like this. Okay? Get tight right in here. You got support, resistance, and support. They get tight. And then when they get tight, at some point they're going to expand out. They have to. They have to expand out. All right? And so when I start to see something like this, you get outside and then you start to see this expanding down right in here. Okay, this lower Bollinger Band. That just tells me that at some point these two, and go back and look at history. Okay? Everybody's thinking Bitcoin's going to 50,000 right now. No, it's not. Okay? Look at this. At some point, this thing is going to come down, okay? And that's going to be your resistance, the upper Bollinger Band. The upper Bollinger Band will be resistance now, okay? And my thinking is that these things are going to come, and if I was to imagine in my mind, like this back in here, see how it popped out? Went kind of sideways, did this little deal. What, it went from 11,000, and then 2 weeks later or a week later it's at 11,076. Almost no change. All right? So it kind of went sideways to up, came down a little bit, and then popped. So my thinking is that these things are going to, this thing is going to turn down. It's going to be resistance, right? For the short term. And we're talking Oh, if I had to put my mind on it, I'm just in my mind, I'm imagining this. This is going to move down a little bit. This will come up. So right in here is your zone. If you want to add or think about adding to Bitcoin, right in this area, what is that? 9,100? 9,100 to 9,500 is probably going to be your zone. Now, with that said, look at the moving averages. Let's go back here and look at these. Okay? So the 50 moving average right here, okay, in green, has been holding everything up. And here it is, right? Sitting at what? 90? Well, right at 9,000. Okay? So with all this junk that's going on right in here, this could take probably a week. That's a guess. I'm thinking it's a week. Probably a week to play out. So don't sit there and try to play this on a day-to-day basis and think it's going to 15,000. It's not. That's my view, at least. So sit here and just watch and see where the moving average is and see what holds. Like the 20 EMA right here. 20 EMA is at 10,400. So that's, and here we go. We broke 11,000. So, don't sit there and think it's going to the moon just yet. It's not, right? There's a lot of volatility going on right in here. And I think it's coming down to right in here. And we'll see what happens right in this area at, what, 97, 9,800? Let's see what happens, because I got a fib cluster right in there. Let's see what happens in that area if it breaks that 20. Now, it hasn't broke the 20 yet, right? But let's see what happens. That's my guess. I think, to me at least, I would be buying right in here. 10,000, what? What is that? Yeah. Oops. Yeah, let's move it up a little bit. 9,700. I think 9,700 is your area to buy. To me. Questions? Sorry about the ramble, guys. I just had to go on. It depends on where, Andrew, it depends on where you got into. I mean, who knows really, right? I mean, we're doing this just because we look at charts, and I'm not a picture perfect guy, right? I'm not the guru or whatever you want to call it. I'm just looking at where I would want to add, right? Because I've got all these. Look at this. Look at this. This thing is like going up, right? Look at these moving averages. You get the 200 hooking up, which is huge support, right? You got the 50 EMA right here, huge support. 10 and 20 are big support as well. So I'm not sure I would panic right now. This is a look. I'll scroll out. Look at this. I'll scroll out. Do you want to sell that right now? Would you really want to be out right now? Looking at this chart. Right? I scrolled out. Look what happened back here. And it had If we go back and look, okay, and I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna scroll in. This is what happened back in what, 2017, 2018. Look at this. Scrolling back. That's a bull chart, right? Came back, tested the 50, right? Look at this. Tested the 50 EMA right here. That is what you want to watch. The 50-day moving average. Okay? Look at this. Pop, pop, pop. Held the 10, 20. Everybody was like, oh, it broke the 10 and 20. I'm getting out. No. Held the 50 and then popped. Right? So where are we at now? Okay? Scroll back in. Let's move in. Scrolling back in. And look at this. Here we are. This is today, right? So what is everybody hoping for, right? If you're a long, right, long term, and this is another parabolic move, right, which almost everybody and their dog thinks it is, right, is a parabolic move. Everybody's panicking right up here. They're like, okay, that's it. I'm out. I'm done. Here is the area you need to watch for. Right here. 9,000. And what does 9,000 do? 9,000 does a couple of things, okay? Is it, for one, it'll test the moving average, but two, it could fill the gaps, right? And so we could get that wick to like 8,500, which I think is where the other one is. But right here is where I would be like massively long. And I'm going to be massively long. But I'm not massively long right now. I don't trust this. I don't like this. This is correction time. And so here's the other thing. I'm going to throw this in the chart. Let's do this. Let's just go back to here, right? Because this was massive resistance, you know, since it, yeah, look at this. Right here. This was like it bumped, couldn't get through, got through, bounced back down, and then finally got through. So this area right in here is massive support, right? So I'm just pointing that out. Massive support right in this area. 9,000. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, that's what I'm looking at least. So you're getting this bounce. You're getting this retracement back down. You're going to get right in this area. That's what I'm pointing at, right? So watch that. Questions? And that's the other thing. I mean, not to ramble, and I'll answer your questions if you have some, but you have to look at old areas of resistance, right? So you can't just draw one, right? So let's draw another one right in here. There you go. Let's draw those two areas, and that's kind of like you could do a rectangular thing, you know, like, yeah, it's somewhere in here. that's where you want to see this come down and retest that old support area and then take off. That is what you want to see. That's what I'm waiting on. I want to see it get a nice pop here, come down, retest, and the Fibonacci's work out as well, right? So, you got the 161.8. You got a fib cluster here. So, it may not hit here perfectly, right? It could hit here at, 9,600, 9,500? And then take off. But to me, I would be buying right in here. 9,500. 9,600. And see if I scroll in a little bit. Look at this. See how that works, guys? Support and resistance. Support and resistance. And old support or old resistance should become new support. So this was resistance, popped, broke below, it was resistance, and then popped through. Now, coming back to retest it, that should be, right here, should be support. It should be support. Okay? Does that make sense? Everybody understand that? All right. Any questions? Bring them up right now. Type them in channel. Okay. Oh, awesome. Good. Yeah, you have to. That's how you have to look at it. I mean, and I don't want anybody to go looking at this thing and going, I got to get in right now. I've got to get in right now because it's going to go to the moon, right? No. I think I've pointed this out. It's not going to go. I've pointed this out time and time again. It's not going to the moon now, right? It's going to retrace. It has to retrace and come back to levels where people got out, got in. There's trading levels where people bought or sold, and that they have to come back and retrace those areas. So that's what I'm pointing out, is that this area right in here where I'm pointing at, that's the area where you want to massively, and I mean massively, look at it hard and say, and look at these Bollinger Bands. They're going to come down, and I'm just saying, in my point of view, I'm looking at this in my mind. I'm looking at this in my mind, right? So you have to use your mind, and you're going, I can imagine these Bollinger Bands coming down and tightening up right in this area, right here, right? They did back here. You got the pop. They tightened up real close right in here. Price got, look at this. For 7 days or a week, price didn't do anything. It didn't do jack squat. And then all of a sudden, everybody's like, okay, what's it going to do? What's it going to do? Boom. Popped. So let this thing consolidate down into here, and it may be, if I was to imagine in my mind and look at these Bollinger Bands, I would say, and I'm just pointing this out, middle of July. Middle of July. So I think we've got 2 weeks of just back and forth, Nothing going on, nothing major, and then we do something. So that's just the way I'm looking at it. That's my mind. I'm looking at this Bollinger Band here, this one here, and I can imagine in my mind that they're going to come up and meet and get tight right in this area. Right in here. Mid-July. So, anyway, don't FOMO into anything. And not only that, but here's the other thing. If Bitcoin's going to do this and go sideways for a little bit to slightly down, what's that going to do for alts? Let's go look at them. I mean, it's got to help them, I would think. Oh, wow. Link, by the way. Look at this. Unbelievable. And not only that, but do not FOMO into this thing at all. Do not. Okay? Huge volume here. Price outside the Bollinger Band. Look what happened. Broke back inside. Huge volume here. What's going to happen? It's going to break back inside. So if you're going to play Link, okay, your area to buy is right here. Right there. Okay, if I go to a USD chart, and I don't know what everybody's playing, but do not FOMO into this thing. How many people got trapped up here? Unbelievable. How many people got trapped right there? And now, look what's happening. They see some panic selling. It's unbelievable. I've seen this too many times. And it's crazy. Selling. Up here, if they're looking at a 3-minute chart or a 5-minute chart, they're probably panicking like no other. But let it come back in. Let it come back inside. Test the EMAs, okay? And you see what the EMA is right now for support. It's the 20. Look at the 20. The 20 is your support. So if you're wanting to buy a Link, then let it get down here, okay? And then you can ride it up. Don't buy it right now. Your indicators are way up, okay? Right here. Overbought. Volume huge. Volume huge. Look what happens after volume. Big volume move here, and it goes sideways, right? It goes sideways. Big volume here. What's going to happen? It's probably going to go sideways to down a little bit. So if you're wanting to buy, down in here is your area. Don't panic buy right now. Questions? Hot. Okay, let's go take a look at hot. I think I have it here somewhere. There it is. Okay, hot BTC. Oh, wow. Nice move today. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, so hot is one of those. Let's do this. And so I love this, right? I love doing live stream. So you could do like a Fibonacci retracement. And let's go here. Oh, my bad. Clicked on the wrong. There we go. Ah, come on. Get up there. Ah, dang it. All right. Removing everything here. All right. So let's go Fibonacci. Let's scroll in. There we go. All right. And then let's draw in. Let's move this over. Let's do a 38.2, which it, oh, sitting right on 38.2. Okay. All right. So if you're long hot, right? If you're long, okay, what you want to see now, and this could get really interesting for it, is that it broke the 10 EMA, okay? Nice bullish reversal right here. Broke the 10 EMA, testing the 38.2 retracement. That's resistance, right? So what you want to see is a break above the 200 EMA. And let's go back and scroll out. I got to see this. Okay. Look how the 200 went up, 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 and then all of a sudden it's back in this area, right? So this, whatever the zone is, 18 to 24, that's probably your zone. That's probably your area to, you know, like consolidation, 18 to 24. If it gets above the 38.2, holds the 10 EMA, then it's going to start hooking up, right? And that's what you want to look for in the future. Okay? Not say it's not, to me, I mean, it did it back in here, but to me, it's got to like get above that 10 EMA, hold the 20, and then push through and let the moving averages work up. This right here was a pump. That just looks like a pump, right? That was a pump. Let it get slow and just do like Bitcoin did back in December and January. Just let it slowly go up, and then you start working up. This doesn't look bad. You know, so to me, if you're in back here where the bottom was or close to, hold it. I would be long and just hold, you know. But be very careful with these alts, guys. I'm just telling you, be very careful. A lot of stuff pumping and people pumping it, getting out. Be careful. All right, what's next? Does everybody understand what I'm doing on Fibonacci? Does everybody understand that? Or does anybody get confused or, you know, like when I do fib clusters, let's go see what Bitcoin's doing. Yeah, no surprise. Okay, uh-oh. Don't do that. There we go. Yeah, Bitcoin. Oh boy. Yeah. People got trapped right up in here. I mean, they were thinking buy the dip, and then they got smoked. So, tell you what, let me look at my futures chart. It should be open by now, I would think. Yeah, it's open. Okay, I'm going to pull this over. All right, so there is my futures chart. Okay, CME futures are open. And, okay, so here's where I start to get, like, a little bit nervous. Okay? is when I start to see like blue lines, right? When I start to see blue bars, that tells me retracement. Okay? Either way, I could go back in here, and so when I see red bars like this, and then all of a sudden I start to see yellow, that tells me that, okay, so we're starting to get close to a bottom, right? When I start to see this, when we've had a nice move, and I start to see blue bars, look back in here, blue bars, blue bars, blue bars, and we go sideways. So this all goes back to my thinking, guys, is that we're probably going to go sideways for a week, maybe 2. But here's the only thing I will say, and we'll see, is the 10 EMA on this chart has been big time support. So look right in here. And I will say this, any drop below, what is that? What is that, 11,000 on the futures? Yeah. Any drop below the 10 EMA on the futures, and we go fill this gap, and very possibly fill this gap. And here's your 50 EMA. Okay? So don't FOMO into this thing, okay? Don't FOMO. I think this time, it just needs time to consolidate a little bit. And so that's where we're at. It's consolidating right here. There's like massive, like, look at this. Big time, went up in here, resistance, didn't like it. Somebody tried to buy back, didn't like it, coming back here. So what are we going to do? We're going to drop back down and see where the big buyers are? Or are we going to hold this area and then rock it up? Just my view of things, guys. I don't claim to know everything. I'm not a guru. But looking at it from an eyeball view, scroll out, I can very easily see it coming right into this area. And if it does not hold this area, down here is where we talked about the 50 EMA, and fill the other gap. So you got to watch that. But right now, all eyes are on the 10 EMA, okay? No panic, no nothing. Just kind of holding the 10 EMA. But if it breaks that, that's when you might see a swoon down to the south, right? Watching the 10 EMA. So, anyway, that's what I got. Any questions? BTC futures, yes, they are traded on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Yes. Let's see. BTC, in my opinion, might pass to me. S-Finder, it's possible. Sure. Absolutely, it's possible. I mean, here's the thing with Bitcoin is that when it gets really volatile, you know, you can see these wild spikes down and then huge reverses back to the upside. And vice versa, by the way. Ethereum. Let's go look at Ethereum. Oops, sorry, that was Litecoin. There we go. All right. Yeah, I think Litecoin is pretty much in the same boat as Bitcoin. All right. I don't think there's much difference in between the two of them. You know, Ethereum came up and tested. Actually broke that 50, so let me remove it. Yeah. So it didn't like the 61.8 retracement up here. Reversed hard off of it. So obviously it's same as Bitcoin. I think it's probably coming down in this area. Probably 260. If it holds, obviously, if it holds the 20, that's awesome. But one would think, and let me scroll out a little bit. I may be wrong on this one. I may be wrong. Hang on. I may be wrong. Let's do this. Let's do it over here. Yeah. So there's your area. Right there. Okay. 280, 270 to 280, right? Because that was old. I mean, look at this. Old support, new resistance, right? Or old resistance and new support. So you had, look at this. Old resistance, couldn't break it, couldn't break it, couldn't break it, and then finally broke it, right? Now you want to draw that line, and it could be within, and there's no telling, guys. I mean, it could be within 10, 20 points. So don't just use this line as the guide, right? That's just where I draw it to see where it possibly could be. But I put it here because it couldn't get past here, wicked above it a little bit, dropped down, and then finally broke through. And now it's coming back and it wants to retest that area. And that is huge support right there. 280. 280 is your massive support on Ethereum. And if it didn't hold that, I mean, obviously you got the 50 EMA right here, which is the other, look at this. The 50, if we go back, let's look at this, right? So just because if it breaks this, doesn't mean it's going like straight down, right? This is bullish. This is a bullish chart. And so what you want to watch is the 50 EMA, right? So it held the 50 EMA back in here, right? Look at this. Held it here. Popped. Came back down and held the 50 back in here. So one would logically suggest that if it does not hold this area, that it might hold the 50 right here. And the 50 EMA is at 261. 260-ish. So I would possibly add a little bit right here and maybe a little bit here. Okay? And then let it pop. But look at the Bollinger Bands. Again, price got outside. It didn't like it. Rejected it. Came back inside. So let this thing go sideways a little bit. Sideways to down. Choppy, choppy, choppy. It's going to just do choppy crap for the next week. And then right in this area, 260 to 280 is where you want to add. And then let it pop again. Put your stop losses in there just in case, because there's no guarantees. I mean, this thing could just fall off the cliff, but I don't think so. Because this is just bullish, moving averages. Looks really good. Oh, LTC. Hang on. LTC's getting killed. I thought it was up today. Hang on. I was on the golf course. Oh, yeah. All right, so Litecoin. I haven't done this one in a while. Let me see. Let's take out the 38.2. Actually, let's see. Take out the 50. And oh yeah, yeah, that was where I drew that retracement from here to here. Hit the 78.6, right? Look at that, guys. 78.6 retracement. Keep a close eye on that all the time, right? Because that is a major, major reversal zone, either long or short. Okay? 78.6. If it ever breaks it, it's good because it's more than likely going to break the highs, right? And go to the 127.2. But if it rejects off that area, it's going to come way down. Look at this. Wow. Wow. That thing was at 130 something today. 130. Oh my God. Wow. Reversed hard. But you had back in here warning signals, right? You had this reversal area pattern kind of telling you that this back here was probably your, like heads up, right? Like back in here you had a doji, an indecision, and then you got a little low volume kind of move up that everybody was like, it's going to the moon, blah, blah, blah. No. Reversal here with, volume coming in, and then once it dropped below the 20, it was like gone. So, anyway. Not liking Litecoin right now, guys. No, no, no. Might get interesting. Back in... see how it held the 50 EMA right here? It could get interesting here. But if you're playing it, you could buy it at 110 maybe. But I would use a very, very tight stop. Very tight stop. 110. 110. Otherwise, I think it's coming back probably to test the 200 EMA back in here. And you can see where it's almost kind of like a trend line in a way. But, 90-ish probably. Might not be bad. But that right there looks like, and I'll tell you this, that looks like an inverted cup and handle pattern, right? Almost in my mind, I'm looking at this. I could draw a line, and it was like a rounding type of top, right? Kind of a rounding top. But if it holds this right here, if it holds the 50, it could break above. But you gotta have volume and you gotta have some news or whatever. Let's see here. Let me look at questions. Sorry guys, I need to be paying attention to the channel. Excuse me. Jordan, I'll get to XRP here in just a moment. Andrew, I use 10, the 10, 20, 50, and 200 EMAs. Sorry about that, guys. Had a text message. All right. Bitcoin. Oh, wow. Still dropping. Oops. XRP. Let me go to XRP. Hang on. Somebody asked about that one. All right. So, oh, golly. Wow. So I got stopped out of this one the other day. I was long. It better hold like right here. Okay? It has to hold this area. If not, it could like massively drop. Okay. I don't like seeing patterns like this. So you get this, like I had this bull pennant broke above, and it looked like it was going to break out, and then it didn't like it, and it just broke back in. That is not good. And so it has to hold this trend line right here. If it does not hold that trend line, you got some support down here, but I just think it could massively drop. This could get ugly on Ripple. And these EMAs are not looking favorable, so it better do something pretty darn quick to try to reverse those EMAs around. That's what I got on XRP. I don't know. That's massively disappointing because you had this big break of the pennant and then drops back in it. That's not good. Not good. ADA. Yeah, let me take a look at ADA. You want the USD version or the Bitcoin version? ADA. All right, well, here's your Bitcoin. Look at it, right? Which is not pretty. Oh, USD. All right. Okay, so here's your... oh, wow. Okay, so... Oh, my gosh. What the hell happened here? Okay, so let's take out this because it broke above it. Come on. There we go. Alright. Alright, so here's your massive, massive resistance, right? Back here. Drew that line across. That was from a while back. Looks bullish, right? I mean, holding the 200 EMA, that's probably going to be your key, is the 200 EMA. But you've got this, right? Let's do this. Look at your 10 and 20 EMAs. They're just massively hooking down. Massive. Right there. That is not a good signal. So I don't know that I would be buying here or adding here. I think I would just hold on. If you're in, I would just kind of like be cautious and hold. And then you've also got this. I could draw this. You could do something like, I have to do a trend line. Oh, come on. All right, this is ticking me off. Hang on. There we go. All right, so there's another trend line. But then you've also got this. Oh, come on. There we go. All right. So two things in place, right? You got the 200 EMA down here in blue. You got this trend line right here. But then you've also got drawing it from this to here to here. I mean, this area right at here is massive support. What is that? 8 cents? Yeah, 8 cents. I think I would be like real cautious of anything going below 8 cents. So this could be one big ass bear flag, right? Or a bear pennant. Right in this area, you have to be cautious of that. But if it holds the 200 and this trend line, you could sneak back above. But look back here. You got massive, massive resistance up here at 10 cents. All right. So that's what I got on ADA. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see it. All right. But that 10 and the 20, oh boy. It better hold it. If not, it's coming down here. Digibyte, absolutely. My baby Digibyte. Let's see here. Digibyte. Let's look at the Bitcoin version here. Okay. And so, I had this support area right here, which I turned into red because that's a resistance now. But to me, Bitcoin or Digibyte, it's holding the 127.2. To me, it's got to get above the 10, the 20, and hold it. That's period. I mean, just let it. I want to see this thing just kind of like it's bottoming out, but I want to see, and not only that, but look at this. Uh-oh. This could get interesting. I can't draw it. But anyway, look down here, okay? Does everybody see this? And this is what I look at with indicators, right? Because I don't look at indicators as so much as like, oh, it's way at the top, I got to sell. They're all based on price, right? So we look at them for divergences. So look at this. Right here at the bottom, price was here. Okay? Popped a little bit and made this a little high. But look at this. It's holding this area and the indicator is higher. Okay? Everybody see that? Higher indicator, lower price. That's bullish. That's a bullish indicator. So, and it's hanging out around the lower Bollinger Band. So, Digibyte could be one of those that just takes off at any time. In fact, I may just have to put another buy order in for some more. Interesting. Yeah, hidden divergence. Yeah, definitely. Could be. Could be. So, wow. Yeah, that's interesting. Very interesting. Questions? All right, guys. Any questions on any charts here? Any questions on Bollinger Bands? RSI? I haven't looked at RSI on it. I use a stock RSI. All right, guys. Let's see. IOTA. Okay, IOTA BTC. I don't know if I have that one on my list. Hang on. If I can get my eyeballs working. IOTA USD or BTC. Pretty much the same as all the other alts. Kind of looks similar to DGB, to be honest with you. So right in here, I mean, yeah, could get interesting. Let's do this. Probably not a bad time to be buying alts, guys, to be honest with you. There you go. All right. So, yeah, I mean, it needs to get above the 10 EMA. I mean, you're probably going to run into resistance there. And then, obviously going up, you got the, Fibonacci's that are going to be resistance. But wow, this thing, it could, it's like Digibyte. Look at this low volume. Everybody just bailed. Look at this low volume decline. Look at this. Volume just dropped. Look at this. Price just dropped. And it wasn't that much volume. That's a big time, I want to get in this thing. To me. No, not bad time. I said not a bad time. I think it's a pretty decent time to actually get into alts. Especially if Bitcoin does what I pointed out earlier. If it goes sideways for 2 weeks, alts are going to take off. So start looking at those ones that are beaten up, and I think that's your time to make your money. All right? Yeah, absolutely. Bitcoin sideways is going to make alts go. Absolutely. And I think alts are totally due. There's going to be some of these that will run forever. So pick your good ones. What else we got? In fact, let me see here. I think I may just go over here and yeah. Alts look good, guys. Look pretty good. Pretty good if you're willing to take the risk. I'm the more conservative type. I like seeing things show themselves, but at this time, it's possibly worth the risk. Yep, low cap pumps by whales, of course. Yep. Well, Digibyte too. Digibyte is one of those that could, in one day, go from where it is to jump 200 sats, right? I think Digibyte is one of those type of plays. You could see Digibyte pop 20% in one day. And be just like a link. Okay, what else we got here? All right. Any other questions, guys? Gals? Any questions? Did I miss anybody? Let me go back and I need to scroll back and look. And guys, I'm sorry if I missed somebody's question. I'm sorry. Okay. Excuse me. I did Ethereum. I did XRP, LTC, XRP, IOTA, Ren. What in the hell is Ren? I've never heard of that. Well, it didn't do us any good right now, right? I mean, talking about something that's gone 30%, you know, look at this. It's like I've preached about. Price gets outside of the upper Bollinger Band, and what happens? It gets rejected, right? And if I was to do a fib retracement, let's look at it. From here to there, maybe there. There we go. It's not rocket science, right? I just drew a fib, and it hit the 161.8 retracement and backed off of it. So I'm not buying this thing. I'm not. I'm just not. There's no way I'm going to FOMO into this thing. So let's move on to the next one. You know? Look at this. Hard rejection off the 161.8. So what do you want to do? You want to go and draw your fib retracement from here to here. All right? Let's see what the downside is. 38.2, 50, 61.8, 71.6, 127.2. So, to me, breaking outside of that and then coming back inside, I would go back. Here's what I would do on Ren. Okay? And simple stuff, right? I'm just taking a line, horizontal ray, and then I'm going over here, and I'm going to go over here where it couldn't get through, right? So came up here, didn't like this area right here, and then it finally broke through. So let's go back here and just draw that right there at that top. Okay, and if that doesn't look good, then you can always switch to a 4-hour chart. And that gets clear, right? So price way, way outside the Bollinger Bands, right? And we know what that means, right? Everybody knows about the Bollinger Bands. Way outside is no good. You do not buy, you do not sell. You're short. All right? So why not wait and let it get down in this area and go a little sideways? It had a nice little pop right here. And if it comes back and wicks down to here and then wants to take off, then play the breakout. But it's got to hold this area right here, the red line. And see? See what I'm talking about? Resistance. Didn't like it. Broke above. Now it's going to come back and retest it. All right? Make sure it's good. So that's Ren. Nice chart though. Bullish. Very bullish. Bullish chart. Huge volume too. Which also makes me wonder why, that's just FOMO stuff right there. That's people FOMOing into it, and then look at this. You get the red volume stick after. It's just classic. Classic stuff, guys. So let it come back down, consolidate a little bit, and then play the pump a little bit. I mean, I get it with volume, I really do, but too many times people say, oh, well, it had huge volume right here. Well, of course it did. That's what drove the price. It was a FOMO deal. I don't know if there was news or what happened with this thing, but that's what drove the price. So anytime, and go back and look at it in previous times, boom, boom, boom. So let it come back inside the Bollinger Bands, let it test this area down here, and then try to play it. Don't FOMO. I mean, you could right now. Obviously, it's dropped. It's dropped quite a bit. So if somebody's willing to take a risk, I mean, you could, but I would wait until the 10 EMA hits to see if it's support. Right down here. All right, guys. Any other questions? I got to go do some stuff. Questions? Check in on Bitcoin. Yeah, just kind of hold that 10-9 area. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Totally enjoyed it. We will do this again soon. Want to thank everybody for coming in here. And I'll see you in Discord here after a while. Thanks, guys.